Welcome to my part 3 tutorial in Hangman. So as I left off, I'm going to define all the rest of the functions and we're going to finish the Hangman in this tutorial. First I'm going to define the play again function. Alright, play again, we're going to say puts enter y to play again. And we're going to tell the user to do that. Now we're going to get the answer or the input, and then we're going to say while get char is not equal to new line. We're just going to clear all the new line, all the characters until we reach a new line, and then we're just going to return to lower c if it's equal to y. It means we want to play again, right? Okay. Alright. Now let us define the function check if 1. Check if 1 is gonna basically compare the two strings, secret and blanks. So if strcmp. Before I do this, I'm using a string function. A function in the string library. So I'm going to go in the beginning of the file and I'm going to go and define and include this here. Right, so I need to include this. Also, in line 24, I recognize that I have only one white space in the new line. I need 2, so the body and the head are going to be aligned. So, okay, so now we can get back to coding here. Alright, so now if strcmp is secret blanks, and if they're equal to 0, then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to say printf, you got it, man, you got it, man, it was, okay. Now I could pass into the arguments over here, I could pass in either blanks or secret because they're both equal, right? This is being executed under the condition that they're both equal. And then we're going to say return 0. So now I have another function, int is in Word. And what we're going to do here is loop. I'm going to loop over position. Why? The reason why I'm looping over position is because guessing bank is already guessed. This function is already guessed as using the function is in Word, and we pass in guessing bank. And we want to loop. We want to use position as a looping counter, whatever how you say it, as the condition that we're going to test against, because the amount of characters is defined by position. The amount of characters in the guessing bank string is going to be defined by position, so we don't want to go over that. Okay, so we're going to say like this: if word I is equal to guess, and it's going to return 1. Else it's not in the word, so I return 0. Okay, we have one more function, and this is the hardest function of them all. This is pick word. Pick word is you're going to pick a random word from the file. Okay, so now we have a file pointer, file. I'm going to have int lines, char c. I'm going to have the amount of lines, and the char c is the amount of characters. File is equal to f open words.txt, right? R. So we're going to open this file for reading, and that has all my words. And I put that in the link in the description in part 1 and part 2. I'll also do it for part 3. Okay, so now that we have this, I'm just going to make a simple terminate. I'm going to make a while loop. While C is equal to get C in the file. If it's not equal to E. If it's not equal to end the file, if C is equal to a new line, then I'm just going to increment lines. So now we have the maximum amount of lines. Now we're going to say fseek file 0 seek set. We're just going to seek all the way to the beginning because get C changed the position. But now what I need to do is say srand. I'm going to pass in time into my srand function because I'm seeding the random function, and then I'm going to call the random function here. Right now I want to get a random line, which these 1 plus rand modulus lines gets me a random line between 1 and lines. And then once I get that, I'm just going to say int seek where, because I have to know this is a variable to hold the position in a file where to seek in the file line. And this is the amount of characters that I want to read from seek where, or from the random line. Okay, so now I'm going to set lines is equal to 0 and C is equal to 0 because I'm going to be reusing these variables. Right, so now we have to go to that random line and we have to read characters from that random line until we reach the new line. So let me just say it like this. Alright, so if lines plus 1 is equal to random line, so if that's true, what we're going to do now is we're going to, well, first of all, why do we need to test this? Well, as I said, we want to get to the line before the random line so we can know when to increment characters. So now if we did get to the line before the random line, we're going to increment characters. Okay? Else, if that's not true, we're just going to keep on incrementing the characters or the seek position. And this is a new condition. If C is equal to new line, I'm just going to plus lines. Okay? So eventually, we're going to get eventually this statement will be executed, and then we're going to increment characters, and then eventually this line, the while loop will exit because now C is equal to a new line, so we plus lines, so now lines is going to be equal to random line, it's going to exit. But the thing is, the characters that we increment characters, right? So now from this loop gives us the information needed. Technically, we have all the information needed to read from the file and whatnot. But the thing is, since on the last iteration I increment characters, line plus 1 is equal to random line. Let's say lines is 7 and random line is 8. So 7 plus 1 is equal to 8, so I increment characters. But what if that last character was a new line? So technically, I'm incrementing characters for a new line. I don't want that, right? So therefore, I'm going to have to minus characters. I'm going to have to decrement that at the end. Okay. Now, I need to initialize my pointer variables, right? Also, over here, I'm going to have to say length is equal to characters, right? Because we use our length universally within the program. So now we're just going to give a simple call to malloc. I want to copy this and paste it 3 times. Alright, Now for here, what we're going to do is we're going to allocate 7. Why are we going to allocate 7? The reason why we allocate 7, because as I said before, guessing bank, you can only have a maximum of 6 characters in the guessing bank, because Hangman only allows you to guess 6 wrong characters. Right? There's the head, the hand, the body, the other hand, and the 2 legs. That's a total of 6 body parts. But it's 7 because we need an extra one for the null terminator, right? To know when to stop reading from that string. Okay. Okay, so now you might be wondering, why is there an if statement? Well, the reason why there's an if statement is because in the first try, we definitely know that our pointers are null. Therefore, we want to call malloc. But on the second try, we want to call realloc, right? Because if the user wants to play again, the length of the characters may be bigger. So that's why we're calling realloc. Okay. And no, I'm not calling realloc for guessing bank, because guessing bank, we just have to, it's going to stay a fixed size, right? Because there's, as I said, there's 6 body parts to the Hangman player, whatever. The head, the 2 hands, the body, and the 2 feet, which is altogether 6. Then what we're going to do is we're going to set our secret characters. We're going to give it the null terminator. We're going to say blanks characters, give it the null terminator, and we're going to say guessing bank 6, right? Because it starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 7th is the null terminator. And then what we're going to do is we're going to loop through the blanks. Well, actually, no. First, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to seek where in the file, and we want to read into secret 1 byte at a time and characters amount. So now we run into our secret, and then we have the secret. It's a random word. So now we're going to say is less than characters for int I is equal to 0, I is less than characters plus I, and we're going to say blanks I is equal to dash. We're going to need a separate loop for our guessing bank. Because we need to set everything to white space. Alright, so now that we did this, I'm just going to close. We're going to close the file. And this is it. This is basically all that we need for Hangman. But the thing is, we have to free our pointers. So let's go to the top of the file. We have to free our pointers. Let's do it here. Right, so we're going to go and free our pointers. So free secret, free blanks, and free guessing bank. Okay, let's save and let us compile. So we're going to go compile. Compile without warnings like this. Okay, good. And now let us execute. Okay, so now Hangman, enter a letter. Let us enter A. E, I, T, M, S, H, M, N, regard. Okay, so let's play one more time. A, I, O, U, E. Whew. N T no T no P C Timekeeper. Okay, so I'm not gonna play again, but you get the point. This is a full-fledged Hangman game, and which was programmed in C. I hope you enjoyed these tutorials. I'll see you in the next video, guys.